So let's just summarize what we've been talking about, right? With the number 7, we said that this is we're joining like department location with employees based on the DNO equal to D number, because we wanted to have the SSN, first name, last name of all employees working in Houston. And remember, we said that this is not correct because this is going to assume that every department has one location, because like for example this department 5, and we're joining this based only on the department number. If the department number contains this number 5, so I'm going to look at all those that have number 5 that are in Houston, which means this one as well, which seems not to be this one is in Houston, but this one seems not to be in Houston. So it's going to be also part of the answer, because when I prepared the question, I did not pay attention that you should, this is going to be a case where many departments are going to be in different, some departments having different locations, and because now one department is in Houston, all the others are going to be linked to that based on just the department number, because that's what the answer is doing. I'm just putting the location to be Houston and then asking just to join between the employee and department based on the department number.
So,
yes.
What if in the table there is only, if it says specific for every department to has one number and different location, it will solve the problem?
One number? What do you mean one number? But that's what it is right now. One department has only one number.
But here is 5 locations.
Well, that's what you said. Many locations.
The same department.
So
In many things.
yes, that's why this is here. If one department has only one location, this should be here. I will have a column called location.
Yes.
One department will be having only one location. Yes. So the question is wrong, but it was assuming that, this question was not meant to be that complicated. So it was assuming that every department has only one location, which is not basically what it is right now. But that's the answer. That's how to understand this answer. And to have the correct might take more, and then we don't want to go into that level of complication. Now for the 8, wanted to retrieve the name of employees in department 5 who work more than 10 hours on the product X project. Actually, this department 5 can be changed. I could have just used the department name instead. Like instead of putting 5, I could say that's research, because we're joining the departments anyways. You see in the answer, oh, I have not. Well, yeah. If it wasn't like, okay, I just realized that department is not part of the answer. But if I mentioned that it was research, now I have to join between the employee, the department, the works on, and the project. Because this PName, the product X, is the name of the project that is going to be in PName. So I need to put a condition on PName. So I need the table project. I need to put a condition on hours. So I need works on. I need the condition on the employee, but that's what I would like to look at. And if I had another condition on the name of the research, so that's why I should have used department, because now I'm just using the number. I can use this DNO, so I don't need to go by the department. And I just showed that this means that I can just write this like this by just splitting things up, just in case you have a very long queries that becomes a little bit complicated. It will be sometimes easier to just put them in 2 parts. So, and this is how you do that. Now this is now called data. So data is the whole thing. And I put this, the condition, now this thing, instead of putting this, I'm going to put just data. And that's why this query that puts, this selection that puts some condition is going to be like this now. And I just took out this just to show that I can just put this again. Even this one can be put into some kind of a name. Just you can give any name that makes sense to you, as long as it doesn't conflict with the name of a table, so we don't have any misunderstanding or any ambiguity. And then this is going to be, I'm going to project from this condition, but this condition is like the selection from the data. What the data is this thing. So that's how we get it. Now number 9 is just to show that you can put a condition on a column with another column, as opposed to just a column with a value. So this is what we've been doing. And the last one is what's interesting. Now this last one, would like to find the names of employees that are directly supervised by Franklin Wong. Now, just to have this into our table that we did, now we'll just change the question to be find the names of employees that are directly supervised by EA. That's the name of this supervisor. So now if we'd like to do this manually, who are the employees that are supervised by EA? I'm sorry? EB is the only one who is supervised by EA, right? But then this doesn't make sense because, anyways, we don't care. But if we would like to do this, the answer should be EB. That's what we're interested in. So basically, we need to have this. So what kind of condition should I ask to get this EB? Now I only have the name of that employee. So how to do that? I mean, now the employee, when I'd like to get the relationship to know who is supervising who, I need to use the relationship of what do you call it again, the relationship? Recursive relationship, because it's between employee and employee itself. And this recursive relationship, that means there's a link between the employee, because this super SSN is an employee. Now how can I extract the information by looking now at this as an employee or as a supervisor of an employee? I need to join these two things. Now let me just show you this thing, what I would like to do. Now this is, by joining these two, this is the employee with employee, but I'm going to look at these two differently. Because now this is the employee with the employee. But how can I join these together? Now if I would like to put some kind of conditions, that I would like to put a condition on the name of the supervisor. I have his super SSN, but I don't have his name, unless I go out and on another row and see and find it. But if I put a condition, the condition should be applicable to all rows. Now what this is going to mean is that let me just maybe write this somewhere here. Now by what I'm doing, I'm just doing this here. Why I need to do this? Because this name needs to be the name of the supervisor, and this name should be the name of the supervisee, the people who are supervised by them. And the condition is, this is the condition, should not be on the same row, because if I put a condition to be the first name and not use this, just using the employee itself, what is going to happen? Well, let's say that in our case we just use name, right? Now if I do something like this, EA, what am I going to see? Where is it, my Excel? I'm just putting a condition here on employee, where I'm going to see EA and display the name, which is EA. So I'm just going to see just EA again. So this is the name. If I just display this name, let me just put this the same way they are. Name. And this is name with capital N without this big letter. Now this doesn't make sense, because now I want the name here to be the name of the supervisor, while the name here to be the name of the supervisee. Because I want like the name of those supervised by EA. So I cannot use this. So I would like to have this employee, but looked from two types, two point of views. That's why I'm doing this. Now I'm joining these two because I would like this to be the employee, which is the supervisor, and one of them is the supervisee. So if I put a condition, I'd like to put a condition on this name here to be EA, and I'm going to display the other one that is associated with it. But how am I linking these two? I'm linking with them by putting this super SSN here should be equal to this SSN. Now what does this do? Now this is the name of the employee, so now this is, from this side, this is the supervisee, and from this side is the supervisor. Because I said the supervisor, the super SSN from this side, I would like to have it linked to the SSN from the other side. What this is going to do is going to show me the ones that are having these same values. Is this the same value? That's not how it works though. Because if I do something like this, the values are not going to be just copy paste and the same. When I do this, what is happening?
Stick,
the first one
with
with the first one, and the second one and the third one. So I will have this repeated 4 times. Then the second one,
with all 4.
the second one is going to be repeated 4 times with all the 4 again. And the third one with all the 4 again. And the last one with the 4 again. And that's what this happens. But look what it's going to do when I'm doing this joining things, because I'm not just doing this. I would like to join them by using this join symbol. Let me see if I can copy that from here. Now if I have this to be joined, and then I don't join I join them based on super SSN equal to SSN. I don't need to write it down because it's just going to mess up things. So that means I'm going to show only those that have these values equal. That means this one?
No.
Hidden. Let me just well, we don't need this now. Let's hide this so it doesn't disturb us. So this is no, this is yes, this is no, no, yes, no, 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 and then this is no as well, yes, and then no, 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 and then yes, and then no, and then no. Now this is going to be, when I put this joining, this is what happens. And look what happens now. By doing this joining, I have, this is the name of the employee with his ID of the supervisor, and then the name of his supervisor. So employee number EA is supervised by EB. EB is supervised by EA. EC is supervised by EB. And then, because I'm just displaying the information about his supervisor by linking them. And then what I need now, I need to put a condition on this name, this one, and not this one. So if I do something like name like this, there's no way for me to know, or for the computer to know, which one you mean. Because now we understood that we did this, and we said that this is going to be, let's go back, basically like this. The super SSN is equal to the SSN. That's what I did. Now if I put name exists in 2 places. That's not possible. You cannot have in one table 2 different names, 2 exact same name. So how to do that? You have to use something called renaming. I'm going to rename this to be like this: employee E1, and this is, let's say, supervisor. I'm going to call it super, just to distinguish between the E, the employee, and S, the supervisor. Now when I say name should be equal to the supervised by EA, I would like to get this. I said now this is going to be E, and this is going to be S. Which one I would like? Now this is going to be S name, and this is going to be E name. So the condition, I would like to put the name on the supervisor, so I'm going to put S name here. Is going to be called to EA, and then the E name is the one that I'm interested in. Which means now I'm just going to put a condition. I would like to display only those that have the EA as the supervisor name. So here, which one has the supervisor name as EA? Only one of them And if I hide, that's what I get. And I would like to display only the E name, which is from all these. That's what I'm interested in. And I'm going to display the correct name of the employee who has the supervisor to be called EA. Now the same thing happens, but this time with this table that we have, like this table. Now we have a lot of different things. So the name now is first name, middle initial, last name, but the rest is the same. So I just call these to be E1, E2. So this one, maybe it's much better if I just use the same naming again. But let's just change this to S and E, which will be, I think, better. So let me go down, and now this is going to be S, and this is going to be E, just E. And this is S, and S. No, I have to copy this, paste it. And this is going to be E. Because we said that the question was Franklin Wong, and there's two things here. Franklin is the name, the F name, and Wong is the last name. So that's why I'm going to put the supervisor F first name is Franklin, and the supervisor last name is Wong. And that's the condition that I put on when I join the employee with itself by looking at the super SSN from this side and SSN from that side. If I change this, the order, then this is not E anymore. The E should be this one, the employee should be this one, and the supervisor should be the other one. So it just the order is important. And then what I'm displaying is the E.name, the employee's first name, middle initial, and last name. So this is going to be the answer to display the name of the employees that are supervised by Franklin Wong, which is this thing here. Is that okay? Almost? Any questions?